Today I have for you 5 cheat codes so you can start winning at sparring. Little tricks, little tips to make it that much easier to dominate your opponents at the gym. First things first, transparency. Nothing that I have today is ridiculous. Nothing's like, look over there and I'm gonna punch him. Or I have this secret voodoo move which is gonna knock your opponent down from across the room. No, we're talking about real things that I, as a 6-time pro kickboxing world champion, will always use. I will always use these in sparring. Do I use them every time I fight? No. Why not? Because this is my skill level in the gym and this is my skill level when I fight. My brain's not working as well as I want it to. If I could add these in, imagine what I could do. I wouldn't just have 12 belts, I'd have like 20. But nonetheless, these are things which you want to try and add to your sparring to get that massive edge over your opponent. And plus, they are, some of them, just so cheeky and so much fun to utilize. And before we get into our tips, I want to take a moment and give a shout out to all the apparel that I'm wearing today. XMartial decked me out and I love all the gear they're sending me. You guys can pick up some yourself. I have a link in the description below. You can use that promo code Gabriel Varga to save yourself 10%. And do you need rash guards, shorts, athletic wear? They have it all. They have shin pads, gloves. Guys, check it out down there. Plus this company is so great and helps support the channel, which is very, very appreciated. The first cheat code that I want to give you on exploiting your opponent is utilize any fake to make sure you assess and gauge what they're actually going to do. It's almost like a freebie. If you don't use this, it's absolutely, get it out there properly, foolish. So if I come in and I decide, oh, I'm gonna throw my fastest, hardest jab, boom, and they just parry it. And every time they parry it, and I'm never taking that moment to assess, or I blast up a head kick and they're just like, boom. Okay, maybe sometimes that'll work, but you're better off reading your opponent, looking at the mistakes they might make. You might go, okay, when I jab, they over parry. So now I know that the next time I fake my jab, I come to my hook, it's gonna land because their hand's not gonna be here and back. It's gonna be way down there and it's gonna take them too long to get that hand back. You might slap up a round kick to body level and see them drop their hands low. Well, now you know that question mark kick or that little flick up is gonna work beautifully. You have to use this, guys. You absolutely have to. Fake to see the defensive style of your opponents and what holes they have. This is absolutely a cheat code in sparring, which people do not use enough. The next cheat code we're talking about is all with the eyes. The eyes can fake people out so easy. And I don't have people do this to me enough, or I just don't notice because I'm very simply focused on where I should be focused, looking at the chest. But a lot of times you can do something like, look low. I throw a low kick. I look low. I make them think that every time I low kick, I'm looking down there. Now what I do, I look low and I come high. Or I look down low, I jab to the body. I look down low, I jab to the body. I look down low, they get that reaction, then boom, up to the head. Doesn't need to be low to high. It can work from high to low as well. I just stare them down and I hit down there. And this is something which absolutely can play mind games with anybody who's not super high skill level. If it's a high skill level person, most likely they will not be even paying attention to the eyes and they won't fall for it. But if it's anybody at the beginner intermediate level, yes, they will absolutely believe it. They will drop their hands. They'll be like, oh, low kick's coming because he's looking at my leg. And then you can go and do something else. I love using this. Again, I can't pull it off against a lot of my sparring partners because most of the guys I spar with are very high level. But as soon as I'm having fun with anybody who's beginner intermediate, I'll play with it all the time. And I'm always blown away how effective it really is. The next little cheat code I have is learning to gauge distance with this straight punch, jab, and the front kick. A lot of people struggle with range control, right away figuring out where it's safe, where it's dangerous. If you come out and you just pump these two techniques, It's just a good way initially to gauge not only this guy's distance and range, but also the speed, the power, so many things. You come out, you pump this, you get going on them, you really start to control the rhythm, the pace of the fight, you start to learn and understand things, and all of a sudden your opponent is a massive step behind. If you're not using those two techniques, you need to start adding them, and then as the round goes on, you can start expanding your technique repertoire. But using those things for the first 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds is a great way to start gauging your opponent and just get so much data on them while staying really safe. Here's my favorite little cheat code for today to land shots. If you made it to point number 4, thank you for still being here for the video. What we're doing is we're throwing the same technique 2 times. Then on the 3rd time, it's only about faking. So I'll come forward and I'll specifically do this round kick. I throw it again. If they miss the first round kick and it hits them to the body, you can be sure they're gonna block the second one. If you throw it a 3rd time, you know they're ready for it. And they're probably gonna overreach and go for a catch or something. And the trick on this one is, you don't want to distract them too much in between. So I'm not going to go round kick and then bounce around, give them a big pause, change up the techniques, come back to the round kick. No, it's not that at all. It's round kick again. Fake the round kick and come to a different level. Something like that. I go front kick, I touch them. Front kick and I touch them again. I fake, I hit them. The number of times the 2 techniques in a row followed by number 3, which is the fake, the number of times this works blows me away. Now again, sometimes it's skill level based. If your skill level's up here and somebody's anywhere below you, you're more likely to pull off these cheat codes in sparring, like I am. Once we get to a higher level, it's that much more difficult. Somebody who's even with you, but still I think adding this is something you're gonna absolutely love. 1, 2, fake on 3, land your shot. People are just like, whoa, how'd you do that? And I'm going, how did you fall for that? And the last cheat code for today is something that I actually lack on. I slap myself on the hand there just to make sure a reminder. Use your fakes. 25%, if not more, of the movements that you do in sparring should be fakes. If you're not doing this, every time you go to attack, your opponent knows, yeah, this is an attack and I need to react like it's a real attack. But if you start twitching and then you throw some shots, you fake, you throw some real shots, what happens is they don't necessarily believe that every movement is actually going to be a full-on attack. Or if they do, they get very rigid and very nervous and they start reacting to everything, which fatigues them that much more. You can be chill and relaxed when you fake. You don't really need to be doing a whole lot. So either they're gonna fatigue or they're gonna stop believing that every time you move, it is an attack, and then you might surprise people because they're going, oh, you know, I thought he was gonna fake a jab because he just did it a couple times, but that last one was actually real. This is something which works very well. I like the number, 25% of the shots or more should be fakes. When you watch people like Mayweather or Adesanya, they're probably faking 50% of their shots. So those are my 5 cheat codes to improve in sparring, level up very fast without having to necessarily get better or work harder at the gym. You just implement these and you're gonna start landing so many more shots. Remember, episode sponsored by XMartial, who has fantastic training apparel. So many cool designs like these flamingos and really just hot pink, but I like it. Make sure you use that promo code Gabriel Varga. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. If you haven't already, join the channel, get subscribed. As always, train hard, cheat a little bit in your sparring, and I'll see you back here soon for another episode.